Animation is one of the most important things I think we have to capture as a Disney studio and as a Disney game.
Mickey in stillness is obviously Mickey. I mean, any combination of three circles is identified as Mickey by almost everyone on the planet. But Mickey in motion is what makes Mickey. The way Mickey moves is critical. Boy, did everybody here watch a lot of cartoons. We have all of the Mickey cartoons, all the Oswald cartoons, and all the features. And we would sit here and watch them over lunch and talk about what made them special and what made them great and what elements we wanted to incorporate into the game.
Looking back through the archives, seeing how those characters were animated in their original roles, and bringing that to Disney Epic Mickey.
We consulted with feature animation, we consulted with Pixar. In making a game about Mickey Mouse, of course, the animation quality in our title had to match feature movies.
That was the kind of fidelity we were trying to achieve. I wanted Smee moving the way Smee moves. I wanted Horace Horsecollar moving the way Horace moves and Clarabelle moving the way she moves. I'm telling you, the animators nailed it. Disney has a series of lectures, all the way from some of the 9 old men up to the present. We have access to all of those, so we could learn from the masters. We had access to some of the most senior animators at Disney Feature Animation, and trust me, they critiqued our animations. There was a level of detail that those guys can get to about specific animations that I had never seen in my life, and I've been working with animators, for 30 plus years. The animators, early in the project, recreated moments from real Mickey cartoons.
Each one of us took a scene and reproduced it in 3D from what we saw in 2D, trying to figure out what was the appeal that drew us to Mickey in the first place.
We did extensive research just to make sure that the animators had the spot-on feel of not only the personality of those characters, but also what the Disney animators had brought to those characters to begin with.
Why did they rotate his ears this way? Why did they turn his head and cock his head this way? How do we take that and then find a balance that would work well in 3D?
We actually composited our Mickey into real Mickey cartoons, and people couldn't tell. That's when I knew we had nailed it. And it wasn't that we were literally going to imitate specific animations, but once the animators could imitate them, I knew they'd embodied the character. And for an animator, that's critical. There are clearly differences in a medium where you have 24 frames a second, and you can spend 24 hours rendering 1 second of screen time, and a medium where you're trying to do 30 frames a second and render them in real time. In a game, we have completely different constraints. We're about repeated actions. We are all about magic moments, but they're magic moments that players create by combining those repeated actions in different ways in different contexts.
I have a designer I work with closely who keeps me on my toes and makes sure that I'm not putting too much into my animation that would take away from the player's experience.
It's this exquisite balancing act between beautiful animation, expressive, emotion-filled, communicative animation, and player control.
So that way when they want to turn right, it's responsive. So it's a give and take back and forth.
The animators here are expert, and the gameplay programmers are expert at balancing the need for players to be in split-second control, down to milliseconds of control, and beautifully expressive animation.
When we go back and we talk about remembering these characters, we wanted them to be remembered in the light that they were originally introduced. The animators on this team did a great job in bringing that to the game and to the player.
I look at the game and I just think we've captured the essence of Disney animation in a game.